We chose to talk about Microsoft Corporation, where we focus on the operating system of Windows rather than other products from Microsoft. The main topic of this presentation is coming into depth of key account management. Now, what is a key account? Briefly, key account is a customer where cooperation at both short-term and long-term creates a more competitive power for both companies. Keeping this presentation short and simple, we will start off with stating the key customers of Microsoft Corporation. Now, Microsoft Corporation has basically two segments, B2B and B2C. In this case, we took the focus only on B2B, where the key account management is more focused on. So the B2B is the notebook and stationary computer manufacturers, such as Lenovo, HP, Dell, Asus, and so on and so forth. Other customer segment or market segment is the education centers, where Windows tries to sell their operating system to education centers, for example, gymnasium and universities, where the students, they can utilize this operating system for their own project and their own good. Making assumptions. Well, Microsoft Corporation has a customized pricing targeted at their key account customers. For example, if a new player is on the market and they need Microsoft Windows as their operating system, Microsoft Windows may provide a higher price for them than they're providing for Lenovo or HP or these bigger and more loyal companies. They also have a customized updated versions targeted different customers. For example, we see currently the Windows 10, which is a free download for everybody, whether in B2C or B2B. And they're also selling tablets called the Surface with already Windows installed of Windows 8.1. They provide updates and customer service 24/7 around the clock. Implementing the subjective opinion within this field, I've had a Microsoft Windows phone from Nokia, and I had this application that I could have a preview of Windows 10 within a phone. Basically, what happened was I got once a minor problem, a minor misunderstanding, and I simply went and contacted them middle of the night, and guess what? They actually replied me back. So basically, they have many people around the globe trying to help out customers and creating this customer value and customer satisfaction that actually gains on the brand awareness. Going on with the licensing strategy, as mentioned, the education centers, as mentioned, many other computers that has to come out with the Windows, right? They just give the license. Lenovo or whatever company, they'll just sell the computers with pre-installed Windows. Last, they also have about sharing the knowledge by licensing. For example, about component drivers. If you go on their webpage, you may find free downloads. Well, what that free download is basically all the service package belonging Windows from Vista 7, 8, 8.1, and 10. They also have an example where they go and sell their compatibility of Windows to other drivers like Broadcom, Realtek, and so on and so forth. So basically the compatibility of Windows into different drivers. Moving on, advantages of actually having a key account management within a company. Well, first of all, it creates a close, long-run relationship between two companies and a more competitive power, of course. By that, we also mean that it will create a sort of a binding with Windows. When Windows and the other partners see that both companies are loyal, well, they'll try to stick to each other. There is also another advantage of low cost and relation that prevents switching to other operating system. There is this factor that businesses use. Organizational buyers, they consider two switching costs all in all. They have investments and risk of exposure. Investment, it means that the organizational buyers invest in money, people, training employees to run new equipment, basically in assets. And if they see that the assets doesn't pay back well or the assets are not good enough, then they will have this switch to another supplier. Risk of exposure means that the customer perceives more risk when they purchase products important to their operations when they buy from less established suppliers and when they buy technically complex products. So if they see that the supplier is not providing what they have to provide, well, that is also a switching factor for companies. So, summing up the first point, that the long-run relationship creates, actually prevents the switching to other operating system manufacturers. And other operating system manufacturers include Linux and Mac OS. Implementing the key account management creates a better and faster communication flow among the partners. As mentioned, well, they are providing the 24/7 customer service that actually gains on the customer value proposition and, of course, that gains on the brand image totality of the company. They also implement the external integration that creates cost efficiency. I know the logistics is not a part of the organizational matter here, but it is somehow relevant to the lean strategy where they actually remove the wasteful steps in order to create efficiency. Moving on to the last slide. What can they do to better themselves on the market? Well, the first point is basically to listen to the customer needs. For example, when Windows 7 was finished, Microsoft Corporation, they sat down with a whole fresh-minded research and development team to develop a new Windows or operating system. They came out with Windows 8, which basically was a failure on the market because people started complaining about different factors or different variables that didn't work properly. Therefore, they made a service where you could upgrade to Windows 8.1 with all those disadvantages of Windows 8 fulfilled. And the same happened with Windows 10. When Windows 10 came out, people had problems with different functions in Windows. So they really need to listen to customer needs. Windows 7 was and is actually a very good Windows. But they made some other changes within the framework of Windows and detailed functioning that didn't really go well on the market. They would also improve on their innovative partnership. Before, for about a couple of years ago, Microsoft tried to implement their mobile or Windows Mobile in smartphones. Therefore, they used Nokia as one example and HTC. Whereas a period after, they just bought the company Nokia. If they actually implement or improve on innovative partnerships where they can implement Windows Mobile and mobile devices, they can actually gain on their brand image, brand reputation, and of course on the customer value satisfaction. Because when people saw that Windows actually made a mobile version, which is a very simple operating system on the mobile for those who actually don't need the phone much. They just need a basic function, and they don't need gaming, they don't need graphics, they don't need those high-ended functions. So if they could improve on that, that could be great. So at the end, I would like to say thank you for your attention, and if there are any questions, feel free to contact either me, Konstantin, or Jan, who sits in class, or Hassan, that sits usually at the end of the class. Thank you.